Full moon reading, current energy, overall energy is the Six of Wands. The feeling of this card is that of one who's moving forward, coming out of something and moving into something that's more victorious, more stable, um, more loving, more clear headed, more out in the open and upfront, honest and communicative. It's also an action oriented card. And so there could be something that you are doing or that you are going to do in order to help catapult yourself forward from the past. The past comes up with the Queen of Pentacles, clarified by the Ten of Swords. And this is the feeling of something that has not worked out, something that feels like some sort of betrayal. One more thing to add to the list of things, all the things that you've been through that haven't worked out, all of the things that have come into play over a long period of time, that just feels like a never-ending story of loss, of pain. The next card is the Four of Swords, which does represent taking some sort of a break or downtime or rest. Some of you may have been ill, or caring for someone that was in that state, right? Especially if you had to travel. This could also be like a funeral of sorts, so maybe the loss of a loved one. But again, still wanting to shift and move forward in a different direction, away from this hurt, this pain, this downtime, this brokenness. That's kind of what the full moon could be here to shift for my collective, at least, right? So the Eight of Wands is about communication. It's fast communication, whether the communication is coming from you or toward you. And this doesn't have to be a physical person of communication, but this could be an eye-opening experience of some kind. There's also something about this Eight of Wands that looks certain, sure. So making some sort of a firm decision, communication, saying it out loud. It's been connected to something or someone that was indecisive about you, or that you've been indecisive about, trying difficultly to make a decision, trying to figure out which path you should take, or which way that you should go, which person you should choose. It's connected to the Queen of Wands, and so that could be like an energy that you're just trying to tap into, male or female, it doesn't matter. It's not necessarily gender specific, but the energy of the Queen of Wands is that of fire, is that of passion, is that of not being held back or held down, being fierce and open and present and ready. The Queen of Wands is also not afraid to speak their mind. They are in tune with who they are, and they can be a very upfront and direct communicator. And so this could be that you need to say more of what you're feeling, and what you're thinking. And it doesn't have to be rude or nasty. It just needs to be the type of communication that one hears, and they can't make up any other, sort of miscommunication from what's being said, which I think is interesting because we're approaching a Mercury retrograde, and that is usually a time for miscommunication. And so, however this is going to happen, whatever form this takes, I feel like you're determined to be heard and to be understood, and to communicate in a way that there are no misunderstandings about what you're thinking, what you're feeling. Whether this is about a person or a situation, an idea, a thought, a goal, whatever that is. right? There's no mistaking it, okay? And then your final card is the Wheel of Fortune. And we want to talk about change. We want to talk about movement. We want to talk about cycles. We want to talk about karma. We want to talk about not just you receiving karma, but those who have wronged you, those who have done things to harm you intentionally, receiving the karma that they are due, right? Um, and then we have the other spectrum of that, right, where we're talking about dharma, and it's what you've earned, right? It's not just the bad things, but it is also that you have put so much good, love, light, um, faithfulness, right? Worship, praise. I'm hearing all sorts of like spiritual connotation, um, where it's like you've done so much for others, or at least you've tried to be a figure, who is helpful, who is devoted, who is intentional with uplifting the spirit of others when they are down. And maybe you feel like you need this at that time, or you needed it at a time and you didn't receive it. And so this could be a time for you where you're going to feel loved and doted on, in some way. Something is showing up for you when you really need it, and you're not even expecting it because you feel like you've never gotten it, right? And so I'm going to pull one more clarifier for this Wheel of Fortune, and it's the Nine of Pentacles. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is more about solitude, solidarity, being single but confident and sure and reassured in one's self and one's ability to provide for themselves, right? And so it may not even be that someone's coming in to save you, that someone's coming in to do the thing that nobody else has ever done, but it's a way that you show up for yourself in a way that you never have been able to show up for yourself. And that could definitely, um, put in alignment other people in your life who are willing to do the same thing for you, right? Because if you don't show up for yourself, then who's going to show up for you? If nobody else is coming, if nobody's coming to save you, if nobody's coming to hug you, how do you hug yourself? How do you make yourself feel comfort? How do you come to your own aid and rescue when you feel like no one else is around? Okay, that's important. Show up for you. Take your power back. Stand tall and firm in who you are. Um, and so don't give up. Don't give up. This full moon is about power and empowerment. We recognize that things have happened and they've happened to us all, and you could be going through a particularly rough patch right now, but you're moving past that. And I think you're ready to move past that. And that's the most important part of it, right? That you are now determined, um, to go forward, to move past this negative, downtrodden, um, self deprecating energy. I just think that you don't want to be there anymore in that space. You don't want to feel like this anymore. And things are more clear to you now, and the sky feels maybe more open for you, and the possibilities maybe kind of starting to resurface and come back, and you're starting to feel a little bit better about yourself or about things. And you just want to live again. And you can do that. You're ready to do that. And that's what I see coming for you. Thanks for listening. Love you.